All right, today we're going to talk about equations of parallel lines. Now remember, a line has a constant slope and it has a certain y-intercept. The basic form is slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. Now the key thing to remember about parallel lines is that they have the same slope. They're two lines that never intersect. They have the same level of steepness. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this problem. It says write a linear equation for a line that is parallel to segment A, 3, -2, and B, -1, 6, that travels through C, 5, 9. All right, so what I would recommend doing, whenever you're given coordinates of whatever, always draw a quick sketch of the problem. So in this case, we go ahead and plot A, 3, -2, so over 3, down 2. And make sure to label the point, 3, -2. We've got B, which is -1, 6. So -1, up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So B is -1, 6. And then we've got C, which is 5, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's C, which is 5, 9. All right, so it says write a linear equation that is parallel to segment AB. So we got segment AB, so this is a line connecting there to there. So we got segment AB, and I want something that's parallel to that. So when you want something parallel, it should look exactly the same, except shifted. So this basically can just get moved. So the parallel line would be like so. And those two are parallel. All right, after you have a kind of a visual of what it's going to look like, there we go. What I would recommend doing is, now the first thing, let's find some information. So when we're given 2 points, well, in order to write a linear equation, you need slope and the y-intercept. Well, we can't figure out anything about this because we're only given 1 point. But what we can do is, because this line has the same slope as this line, we can calculate the slope of this. All right, so again, slope is rise over run. Now the first thing in your head, you should do a mental check to figure out, is it going to be a positive slope or a negative slope? So when you read a graph, we read it left to right, just like a book. So I'm looking at this graph left to right. As I go from left to right, I'm going down. As you go down, that makes it a negative slope. So our slope is going to be negative. Okay, so we have to figure out how negative it's going to be. So let's look at the rise. So rise is up and down. So if I go down, so now what I recommend, don't count the spots. Look at the numbers. I started at a height of 6. Then I went all the way down to a height of -2. So from 6 down to -2, well, 6 to 0 is 6. 0 to -2 is 2. So if you go 6 and 2, that makes a total of 8 spots down. All right, then you go over. So -1 to +3. So -1 to 3. Well, first you got to get to 0. So -1 to 0 is 1. And then 0 to 3 is 3. So it's a total of 4 spots. All right, so your slope is negative because it's going down. So -8 over 4. If you simplify that, 8 divided by 4 comes out to 2. So it's the same thing as -2 over 1 or -2. All right, once you find the slope, it's important to realize, well, if this slope is -2 over 1, then so is this one. So this slope is -2, but as this one also is -2. See, it's going down 2 over 1. All right, after you find the slope, then you have to find the y-intercept. So we're looking at this equation. We know that the slope is -2 over 1. Now we need the y-intercept. The way to find the y-intercept is you have to plug in a point. So we plug in the slope first. We got y equals -2x plus b. Now, you want to pick a point on the line we're trying to find. We are not looking for this line, so we don't need to worry about this anymore. We're looking at this line. So we have to choose this x and this y. This is the point that corresponds to the equation we're trying to create. So we're going to then plug in 5 for x and 9 for y. So we say 9 equals -2 times parentheses 5 plus b. -2 times 5 is -10. plus b equals 9. You got to move the negative 10 to the other side, so you add 10 to both sides. So that gets you that b equals a positive 19. All right, your final step after, so now we know the slope, we know the intercept. So your final thing is to rewrite the equation. So we're going to rewrite the equation with our values in there. So again, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So you're going to plug in our slope, which we already found was negative 2. So it's y equals negative 2x, and then plus b, which we just found was 19. So we want to visually check to see if this is right. So this says that our y-intercept is positive 19. So if we cross the y-axis, if this line keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, and eventually hits, this looks pretty high up there. I think that looks to be, if this is about 10, that looks to be about 19. So I think that looks right. And then our slope is negative 2 or negative 2 over 1. So that means we're going down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. So that checks out as well. So that is most definitely our answer.